Hello everyone, thanks for watching Conversations with Betty LaMarr. Conversations are focused on people like you doing things to uplift the city of Memphis. Betty LaMarr invites you to watch this space Fridays at 9:30 p.m. on Xfinity Cable Channel 17 and her YouTube channel, Betty LaMarr Memphis.
Hello and welcome to Medical Talk. I'm your host, Betty LaMarr. Today, Medical Talk is on location at the Red Carpet Studio. And today we're talking about, if you know me, you know one of my favorite conversations is about the importance of being an organ donor. So you know I had to bring on the master with me from Mid-South Transplant Foundation. And joining me is Zola Burgess. Hi, Zola.
Hello, Betty. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm so happy to have you with me. I'll say again.
All right.
Yeah, because the last time you was with me, previously, we had a kidney recipient with us. And I just said, you know, whenever I get the opportunity, I want to have Miss Burgess back because I want to really focus on the foundation itself. Now, just to get this started, tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and where you do it.
My name is Zola Burgess, and I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator with Mid-South Transplant Foundation. Mid-South Transplant is located at 8011 Centerview Parkway, Suite 302, and it's in Cordova, Tennessee. If you want to reach us, our phone number is 901-328-4438.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, let me ask you this. On your website, I love that. Give hope, give life.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what is the overall mission for Mid-South Transplant Foundation?
Our overall mission is to extend life, a better life for individuals that are waiting for organ and tissue transplant. And what that means is that when a person leaves here, or we call it transition from here, they can leave a gift to someone that is waiting for that second chance at life.
Okay.
And we believe that that is the most honorable thing you can ever do, extend life to someone else.
Yes, and speaking of that, in full disclosure, for anyone out there that do not know this, I guess you call it pre-register?
Yes.
Years ago, as a matter of fact, Zola, I contacted Randa a few days ago, and I said, Randa, will you look on because I didn't know if you stay on there forever or never until you die. I said, would you just check and make sure my name is still on there? And I gave her my signature, not my Tina Turner name, right? Because that's what she would have to look for. And she emailed me back, yes. She told me exactly when I registered. I said, okay. So yes, I registered years ago because I wanted to be able to, without a doubt, make that decision for myself.
Absolutely.
And I made sure it's all of my family, and because I don't have children, I'm not married, and neither am I going to do either one of those things. So I wanted to make sure that my benefactor knows exactly. They have my little card, they have everything. So let me ask you this. What are some of the myths and misconceptions about being an organ donor?
Betty, to our amaze, the greatest myth is you're going to allow me to die to get my organs. And that is the greatest myth, because that means that the medical team would allow you to die. And we trust our medical team. And I tell people all the time that the medical team doesn't know you any better than they do know the recipient.
That's right.
The recipient's on a list, and that list is what we share with UNOS. UNOS stands for UNOS, United Network for Organ Sharing. And that does not have a name on it. That particular website has your vital signs, your age, how long you've been on the list, those things, and how serious your illness is. Those things are what matters to us.
Okay, because when I worked in a hospital for like 17 years, and I remember the reason I know this for sure, what you're saying, is because like if Mid-South Transplant Foundation, they'll call, because I was a dispatcher for a while, and they would call like they knew somebody had just passed away.
Right.
And they would say, before we, send them off or whatever, the process.
Right.
They want to have a chance to talk, talk to the family to see if they're interested. And if they're interested, great. If they don't, they'll call us back and say, basically not to hold, because either it was yay or nay. So that right there, I said, and first of all, too, Zola, when you go into the emergency room, say like you're in a trauma situation, those people are focused on life, getting you, trying to save your life.
Absolutely.
That's a whole different skill set when you're doing transplant versus you just going to, and I've never went to the emergency room and anybody asked me if I was on the transplant list, right?
No.
Never, even though I am. So what do you think that myth started from, other than somebody not knowing what they're talking about?
Sometimes people, they always want to see the bad instead of the good.
Yes.
And that is just, normal. But I think that myth started from someone who did not have the facts.
Okay.
And the fact says that, just like you said, Betty, the medical team is there to save your life. They're trying to get you to a better place.
Yes.
They have no idea about you being an organ donor. I'm going to give you an instance here. If a person is in a car accident, because we have a lot of those, and the EMTs come out to see about them and take them to the hospital, they are not looking for a license to say that you are a registered donor, so we're going to try to save you. They're not looking for that. They're trying to get you to a place so somebody can help you.
Yes.
Somebody can help you because they can't help you.
Right.
So, and after the person has been evaluated and the doctors have 5 tests that they would do, and those 5 tests are on your brain, and the 5 tests says that, if you fail the first test, which is an EEG, and we do EKGs, and then we start doing other progressive tests, and we do one called a cold caloric. The cold caloric says that we're going to fill your ear with ice cold water to see if that patient is going to move. If that patient doesn't move, we know in the medical side that that person is not doing well.
Okay.
But there is a final test that we do, and that is called flow. We call it a brain flow. So what we do, we inject the dye in, and the dye comes up, and for them to look at your head to see if there's anything functioning there.
Okay.
And now, if there's no function to dissolve the fluids, then they stop right here, and they call that the red nose. Oh. So that means that person has no brain function.
Is that what they call brain death?
That's what they call brain death.
Okay.
Brain death is a function where all function of the brain has ceased. There's never a recovery from brain death. And people tend to get brain death mixed up with coma.
Yeah.
So brain death is not coma. Brain death says that they're not coming back this way.
Right.
Coma says that they may be close to brain death, but they have a little bit of function.
Right.
But we will come to the family and let them know that even though they have a little bit of function, that is not enough to sustain life.
That's right. And I always say this, because I opted for cremation as well after I married Genesis, hopefully.
Right.
And what you said earlier, I I have to go back to that, how you opened up, it was so good about. To me, I see it as a legacy.
Yes.
When I leave this world. And a lot of people need to give something because it seriously, it depends on, if you know, that may be the only thing that you've done on this earth.
Right.
Or your child has done on this earth that was good.
Right.
On their way out. Okay, and you can sit back and think, I know my child has done some really bad things, but maybe that one last thing may get them into this heaven and hell thing that we believe in, right?
Right.
But I look at it as, what would I want my legacy to be?
Right.
I've been blessed all my life to be healthy. You know, we all gonna have quirks because we're living in the flesh. You know, like right now I got a little hoarseness. Those are things, and I do a lot of physical stuff, like dragging this heavy furniture. So I may hurt my shoulder. But those are things I sort of brought on myself. But otherwise, I've been blessed, Zola, to be healthy. So why would I not want to pass perfectly good organs to someone else if it's over for me? They're not going to do me any good.
Not any good.
Why burn them up, cremate them, or throw them in the ground when you can pass that life on to another human being that it may not be their time yet?
Right, right.
You know, that's why it's important to me. So if anybody can say anything that she did good. Speaking of that, how many people, I guess, if you will, you know what I'm trying to say, will one person, when they pass and they donate their organs, how many people can one person actually save through being a donor?
With that, Betty, and I'm going to address some more things that you talked about.
Okay.
With that, one person could save 8 lives.
Wow.
That is amazing. One person. But you know, people just don't know the difference in organ and tissue. Organs are life-saving.
Yes.
Tissue are life-enhancing.
Like
organs, we have the heart, lung, liver, kidney, and the pancreas. But we have 2 lungs, 2 kidneys.
Right.
But with that lung, with the liver, what we can do, we can resect that liver. I mean, they call that a hepatic resection. Resect that liver because the liver is the only organ that actually regenerates. It grows back within 6 to 8 weeks. So we can save another person with 1.
Wow.
So, and we say that because we can't live without those. Yes, so many people are on dialysis with the kidney, and we can take them off dialysis. We can take 2 people off. That is simply amazing. We can give them back life. We can give some mother back to her children.
Yes.
Some father back and be a breadwinner for the family. So these are the things that we are so serious about. And also with the pancreas, for the person that suffers with diabetes.
Yes. Oh, so many. Oh,
so
my God.
many that suffer with diabetes. This will take them off of the diabetic medicine, and they can live life. That is so amazing because, as you know, diabetes causes blindness. Diabetes causes poor circulation. You see a lot of diabetics, they will tend to lose their digits.
Bad. It's a full body disease.
Yes, and it's just so debilitating that we love when we can take them off of these dreadful things that they on. Now, we talk about a legacy. Can you imagine having someone to live on through organ donation?
Yes.
That's a legacy. You know, we have a lot of things going on in Memphis, but I tell some of the families, we can rewrite this story.
Yes.
This story doesn't have to end here. We can rewrite the good end of this story.
That's right.
So that your loved one, even though you say he was bad, but this is a different side of him.
That's right. He did something good.
He did something good. So we can definitely celebrate him in that moment also. Organ donation is simply amazing. And also with that, it's a possibility somewhere down the line, you can meet that person that you spared their lives. Wow. That is so wonderful. I've seen a lot of reunions like that. I've seen heart reunions when a person has donated their loved one heart, and then that recipient come in and they can hear the loved one's heart.
Oh, I saw that on a TV commercial.
Yes, we just launched a new program where, the lady here in Memphis, her son had an accident, a single car accident, and he passed on that gift, and he was a registered donor, passed on that gift. And the young lady in Mississippi, which is right down the road, she had an opportunity.
I interviewed her.
Oh, yes, you did. You sure did. You sure did. I mean, and she is doing wonderful. She is productive. I mean, she even has a job with the city in Batesville, Mississippi. So she is doing excellent. So, and that's what we do. And we talk about organs, and we do have the tissues, and the tissues are just as important.
Okay.
Say if a person has a heart attack.
Okay.
And we have to go in and do a coronary artery bypass. Where are we going to get them from? Well, we can get the veins out of their legs, but what they had a quadruple bypass. Oh. Where are we going to get the others from? We have to go to the tissue bank.
Wow.
So, and most people do have a heart attack. So this is how we repair them. And I tell them all the time that we repair them for where a person who has lost their sight, not due to diabetes, or due to maybe an injury in the eye. So we can transplant a cornea. And a cornea fits on the tip of your finger like a contact lens. Can you imagine a person who was not able to see, and now we see?
So one of my most favorite things, and I was so thankful because when they would come out to, what they call it, harvest or whatever, and they would allow me to stay in the OR room with them.
Wow.
And that was one of the reasons I registered, because to see them treat that person even though they're deceased, just like a regular surgery patient. They clean them. It's like if you, for one moment, you would think this is an alive person. And most people have never witnessed it.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, if this was me, this is how they would be handling my body and respected and no different than that person was just lying on that surgery bed having surgery. And I'm like, oh my God, I've seen it all happen. I've seen them take out joints and the bones.
Yes.
But when you mention the eyes, that was one of my favorite. Because when they go in there and get that, that's how I knew it got the contact lens.
Yes.
I'm like, now somebody will be able to see.
Somebody can see.
I'm like, man, that's what motivated me. I'm going to register right now because I was blessed to be able to see.
Oh my goodness.
The process.
You have seen some things that most have not seen because it's a sterile environment and we limit who can see those things.
Fortunately, I worked in surgery, so I was already.
So that is such an amazing thing to see the wonders.
Yes.
And we talking about wonders. That is so amazing. And like you said, we do skin. You think there's something? For the burn victims.
Yes.
So skin is like a piece of the very top layer. So the person who was burned, we can take that skin and lay it over that burn spot because it has the healing agents in it.
That's right.
And they can heal.
Isn't God amazing?
But it's so amazing. I love what I do because I've seen so many sides of it. I also, with Mid-South Transplant Foundation, I am also a family advocate.
Okay.
So what the family advocate says is that I'm going to go in when the family has, or they are experiencing the worst days of their lives. Yeah. And I'm going to go in and comfort them, talk to them and see if anything that they need. Because a lot of times when a person is experiencing something as emotional as their loved one transitioning, they fail to eat, they fail to drink, they fail to do all of that. So I'm the person to come in and talk to them. And however their situation goes, I'm going to make sure that they are taken care of. And then I would ask them about organ donation.
Okay.
And I would explain to them what can go on from here.
Yes.
But it's such a blessing to see how important or how well they took that. But you talked, Betty, about cremation. Mm-hmm. The saddest thing is that sometimes a loved one would say no, and we're going to cremate them. So what I'm saying is that
burning up all those good organs.
You're going to burn those good organs, and somebody's mother, father, sister, brother, even somebody's child may be waiting on an organ. So why would you put that in that category when you can just help someone? And it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you not one red cent. But we talk about our fellow man. We love our fellow man. But I always say, when you think, I don't want to do that, you're not the first one to donate tissue. Adam donated his rib, which is a bone, to Eve. So we're not doing anything new. This is back in the biblical days.
But you know what I think about, Zola? The very people that don't want to give, I guarantee you, if it was them or their child, their loved one, they would want mine.
Absolutely.
They wouldn't say, I don't want her kidneys, her liver, her heart. They would want it.
Yes.
But they don't want to give. I remember telling somebody once, and they laughed at me. They need to have a registry both ways. If you're not registered to give, you shouldn't receive. But I know it don't work that way, but that's how I feel. And I always say, if somebody's going to get my heart, I know I don't have anything to do with it because I'm going to go or whatever that is. For me, I would just, my only hope has always been with my lungs, because I never smoked. Somebody get my lungs, they're going to take care of them.
Right.
Because I'm giving you a second chance to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And if you get my heart, I want you to have a good heart in the first place. You can be a good-hearted person, but you could just be, heart disease could be in your family.
All right.
Okay, maybe you didn't eat good all your life. There are a lot of dynamics to the heart. Without that, it's over. So I would just love to feel that someone with a good heart, they needed a heart.
Right.
So they can continue doing good things with their heart.
Absolutely.
That's what I would love.
Our patients, and I would say the ones that I know, they are so grateful. They're so grateful for the opportunity of a heart. But with all of that comes screening. Okay. We screen our patients, and we screen them for the hearts and the lungs, the kidneys and the liver, because with the heart, you cannot smoke. Now, and with the lungs, you can't smoke. But this is the thing. People think, I can stop smoking right when they're going to test me, but we randomly test.
Right.
And that random says that you have 2 hours to get here. And you can't clean your body in that fast. So you have 2 hours to get here. Say if a person needs a liver transplant and you are drinking, no, because they're going to test you.
That's right.
So we screen our patients, and just to make sure that they understand, because someone said yes, you have that second chance.
Okay, exactly. So why blow it? Okay, now, as I mentioned that I've had the good fortune, which motivated me to register.
Right.
Because I was able to, by working in OR, I was able to see, and they would always allow me to, because they knew.
Yes.
There's just something about her, just want to know and that's how I ended up on the registry. But there was a baby. So I was going to ask you anyway a question about the age limits. I actually saw a little baby. The baby was born with, I think, the umbilical cord around the neck, but the mother did donate what could be donated. So I know they took the little, was it a little heart valve or something?
Yes.
And then I've worked at a children's hospital before, and I know how important it was for those babies.
Yes.
Because see, people don't think about it. There are a lot of babies waiting.
Yes.
And speaking of that, not only the youngest that you can do work with, but approximately, if you will, how many people are waiting, like right now, on something?
Okay, I certainly can address that. On the national list, we have over 100,000 people on the national list. And of that 100,000, over 100,000, 17 of those die each and every day. And when they're dying, we're adding another name on there every 8 minutes. So that to say that in this Memphis area, for kidneys, we know they're on dialysis. We have 1,500 people waiting. 1,500. For the heart, because they have made a little device for the heart, but we still have a lot waiting on a heart transplant, a liver transplant. So it's so many that we have. And we're talking about how many donors we had last year? 102.
Wait a minute. And you know more people died than that, right?
Absolutely.
Because the cemetery is full.
Yes.
Okay, but look, I'm so happy that this is, we're doing this as a series. So naturally, you'll be back with me.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we can talk about this forever and ever and ever. Amen. And I want to take this time, as in closing, as they say in the church, to say thank you for joining me again, and looking forward to having you back. And I want to have another recipient with us as well, so we can also go through their journey with you. But right now, just tell our viewers again. I know you mentioned on the top who you are and what you do and where you do it. But for someone that may have tuned in 15 minutes into the show, I want you to tell our viewers again who you are and who you represent and what you do.
All right. My name again is Zola Burgess. I am the Community Outreach Coordinator with Mid-South Transplant Foundation. Our slogan is Give Hope, Give Life. But we do want to close with something that we think is biblical, and it never gets old. It's the slogan say, don't take your organs to heaven, because heaven knows we need them here.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh, that's good. We thank you so much. Again, Zola Burgess with Mid-South Transplant Foundation, and you will see her again, because again, this is a series. Bye-bye.
Have you ever thought about a talk show about HR? Well, it's here. HR TV featuring the talk show, Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen. I'm Dr. Deneen. The show's content will demonstrate the importance of HR in the workplace and how vital the voice of HR is to successful organizations. The show will spotlight HR professionals on every level with a focus on learning more about the people behind the profession. It's upbeat, it's fun, and it has informative episodes. The show will advance the HR profession by assisting HR professionals and organizations stay abreast of the most relevant and compliance-based information important to the workplace today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to be a part of the TV show's community, and click on the notification bell so you will be notified when new episodes post. This is HR TV. I'm Dr. Deneen Lester, and I want to talk HR with you.
Hello everyone, thanks for watching Conversations with Betty LaMarr. Conversations are focused on people like you doing things to uplift the city of Memphis. Betty LaMarr invites you to watch this space and her YouTube channel, Betty LaMarr Memphis.
Thanks for listening to Conversations with Betty LaMarr. Visit our website, www.thebettylamarrshow.com. Email betty@thebettylamarrshow.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Betty LaMarr Memphis. We'll talk to you next week on Conversations with Betty LaMarr.